Hello guys, it's your boy Vex here, and we are back with Season 2, Round 6 of the Ultimate Racing League's SF23 Championship, the Super Formula Championship. So, as I say, we're on Round 6 now. We're at Daytona Road Course. We've got the blue flag glitch, so Ginger isn't in fact on pole. Ginger is at the back of the pack. Vex is actually on pole here. Molson lining up next to him in second. Actually on the mediums there as well, so good luck there from Molson. Palmer is there in 4th place. We've got Wayne G in 5th. Ice Chand in 6th. Asbo is 7th. Brian Moncarney, second of people we've just seen on the mediums. Graham also on mediums, and Gary Smurf bringing up the rear also on mediums. So Ginger will be in fact at the back of the pack. We'll go on board with Vex just a second and wait for the race start. So it was actually I'm not sure if this glitch is what caused this race start, but there was supposed to be a false start check at the start, which didn't happen this time around for some reason. But without further ado, let's get into it. We didn't even get the lights there at the start either, so Vex actually dead on the line. I think he was expecting that false start thing. Everybody else getting a way better start than him. Wayne G, Palmer and Molson all up ahead in 1st place. Looked like a little bit of contact there between, I think it might have been Palmer and Vexed, possibly shuffling Vexed out slightly. So Wayne G has moved up to 1st place. He's in the Benson Hedges. I think it's the Jordan Live Reed Super Formula. It was meant to be current teams, but we'll let Wayne G. Wayne G's got away with it all season, hasn't he? Molson is there in the Aston. He's got Palmer chasing him down now in the Ferrari. He's there in 3rd place at the moment, having a decent run. Ice Chand is there in 4th. Oh, Ice Chand with a big moment. He almost lost it, didn't he? He managed to save it though. Asbo actually on the attack against Vex now as well. Vex having to go defensive. He doesn't want to lose any more places. Everybody's starting to spread out a little bit now. So Asbo is there in 6th place. We've got Brian Moncarney. He's the 2nd person on mediums currently. He's in 7th. We've got Graham there in 8th. Smurf up to 9th, and there Ginger is. Oh, in fact, no, Smurf was 9th, but anyway, wasn't he? Ginger is there in 10th. So the blue flag glitch has gone away now. So Wayne G is starting to try and create a bit of a gap. He's up at the head of the field still. Molson kind of dropping out of that slipstream range slightly. Molson obviously opting to play the long game for this round. We'll have to see if it pays off for him. He's looking very strong at the moment on the mediums, it has to be said. There he is there. And Vex actually making a place now up to 4th place. So Palmer dropping down to 5th. Chand is up to 3rd. Chand obviously in the Red Bull. Vexed now on the back of Chand. He's going to be looking to try and take that 3rd place away from Chand. What can Chand do to keep him behind him? Taking a slightly deeper line for that last turn, and Chand did Vexed. Can he get him along this bank bit? No, he nearly had a moment, nearly into the wall. He's managed to save it, but is he under attack now from Palmer? Palmer is starting to attack him. He has got the momentum. He's in the slipstream range. Vex actually dropping out of Chand's slip now as well. That is going to be crucial. I think that is going to give Palmer the chance to get past him. Vex sensibly covering off the inside as they come into the bus stop for the 2nd time. All through there, relatively unscathed, and it does look like Vex is still losing time to Palmer. Palmer still in that slipstream. He's starting to pull on him again. I think he may be able to get past him as we come into turn 1. Maybe even before the start finish. Look at the pace he's got at the moment. Oh, and Asbo, as if out of nowhere, Asbo comes in. He's had a look up the inside. He's actually clattered the invisible wall there and actually run into the back of Vex slightly. Having a back out, I think he's going to let Vex retake that position. Not at the moment, he's not. So there was definitely a little tap under brake in. Actually, Vex has just returned the favour there, giving Asbo a slight tap under brake in. And Asbo has, he's backed off to let Vex through, so Vex now free to try and attack Palmer again. Asbo's going to be sticking with him though, isn't he? He's looked very quick tonight as well as Asbo. He's had some decent results this season. I think he'll definitely be up for the run-in for one of the most improved drivers this season. Brian Moncani not really making any headway at the moment on them mediums. His teammate Nathan not able to make this round. So there's only one Mercedes on track at the moment, that of Brian Moncani, and it doesn't look like he is starting to... Is he actually chipping into that gap? I think he may be. And up ahead, I think Asbo again going for a move against Vex. Does it? No, it's Palmer. Palmer trying to go on the high line. Vex has picked up a 0.5 second penalty. We didn't see where that was. That is going to allow Asbo through as well. So Palmer and Asbo both move through. Palmer up to 4th. Asbo's in 5th. Asbo now looking for a move on his teammate. Can he get past him? Obviously there is no team points in this championship. Everyone is just driving a solo drive, but it's nice to see people representing the same team on track. So Palmer still sticking with Asbo. Vex trying to stick with Asbo as well. Or Asbo even still sticking with Palmer. Still trying to find a way past. Can Vex make the most of that squabbling? Oh, and Ice Chand actually managing to find his way past Moulton now as well. So Ice Chand up to 2nd place. I think Asbo's had a moment. I think Vex may be able to get past him. Has he got the run? Probably wanting the advantage of that slipstream, but too close to be able to, or too much alongside to be able to slip back in. And yeah, Asbo, he was on the inside line, wasn't he? But I think he was worried that Vex was going to keep the boot in, and he did, so Asbo sensibly backing out there. Vex looking like he's trying to make up some lost time now, trying to make up some of them positions he lost on that start. Obviously catching him unawares. Waiting for the lights to go out, and there were no lights, it just went to go. Oh, Vex, he must have picked up another penalty. Brian Moncani looking for a way up the inside, not able to find it that time round. Asbo's going to stay ahead of him for the meantime. He is still looking though, isn't he, as Brian? Just looking like he hasn't quite got the grip advantage at the moment on them mediums. Not quite coming into their window just yet. Although you thought they would have done being lap 5, but sometimes they do take a little while to bed in. So Graham is there in 8th place. He's actually closed up to Brian now as well, so we're going to have to watch the battle forming between these two. Ginger a little way up the road from Graham now. Smurf for company though. Smurf not too far behind him. Smurf looking to try and take the centre line. Meanwhile, Wenny G now fastest man on track. He's got a 1:31.1. And Ice Chand is now up to 2nd place. Still being chased down by Moulton, though Moulton not too far behind him. He's trying to stick with him. What can Chand do? Can Chand manage to create a bit of a gap? Will Moulton try and go for a pass on the mediums? He's definitely in the slip at the moment, isn't he? He's looking like he's trying to look for a move. Maybe he can go the long way round, but he isn't going to have the grip advantage. Ice Chand managing to keep him at bay for the meantime. Meanwhile, Wenny G, he has done what I said he was going to be looking to do. He has managed to stretch that gap somewhat. Not sure if he'll get a free pit stop or not, but I think that's what he's trying to work on. He's trying to create enough of a gap to be able to come in the pits and not lose track position. Moulton looking ever so strong on them mediums though. He's definitely going to be playing the long game. When them guys on the soft pit, he will surely become new race leader. Definitely looking like he's on a win strategy at the moment. So we've got Vexed. Vexed is now up to 4th place. He managed to get past Palmer. Palmer in the slip though. Palmer, can he manage to get a move done? Will he go for a move into the bus stop? Don't think he's quite close enough this time around. No, he isn't. But we have seen he does seem to be able to carry more speed on the exit of the bus stop, which should pay dividends as they come down to the first turn for the 7th time. Once they cross the start finish again, start lap 7. And he is starting to catch again as Palmer. Oh, Vex running very close to that wall there. Not much room for error. Oh, and we've got Asbo. Asbo crept up there as well. Asbo is right on the back of Palmer now as well, looking for a move. Can he manage to get past him? These two all over the back of Vexed. And he's managed to get the move done on Palmer, has he? I think he has. He's managed to put alongside. Palmer's going to have the inside for this next one though. Oh, I think it was a tiny bit of side-to-side contact. Looking like they are trying to give each other as much room as they possibly can. Palmer trying to look for the switchback now. Asbo managing to get that move done. That was a brave move, but he pulled it off. He's moved up to 5th place. He's starting to try and get away from Palmer now as well. Try and get onto the back of Vexed again and maybe try and challenge him for that 4th position. Oh, and hang on, Ice Chan. So Mawson actually managing to get that move done on Ice Chan. What can Ice Chan do? Can he come back, coming through the bus stop? Oh, he looked a little bit squirrely through there, to be honest. So Mawson now up into 2nd place. It does look like Chand is starting to gain again in the slip. It's a great battle at the moment for 2nd between Ice Chan and Mawson. Mawson just looking like he looks a bit more comfortable at the moment, doesn't he? On the slower compound, but he's making it work. He's putting in them consistent laps as well. He's actually done a fastest sector there. And we have seen around some tracks the mediums can prove to be just as useful as the softs. Ice Chan still trying to chase Mawson down. He's making use of that overtake now. That was nicely through there that time. He looked a bit more settled that time. Actually putting a personal best sector, not a purple best. Personal best sector there for Chand, as he's still trying to close that gap to Mawson and try and retake that 2nd position. Closing right up through the braking zone there. So looking like even though Chan's tyres are looking a lot more worn than Mawson's at this stage, he is still able to brake later. See how much of a gap Wayne G has created. So Wayne G, he's absolutely flying at the moment. He's still got the fastest lap. He's got a 1:30.9 now. So Wayne G still firmly in 1st place. Still your race leader. He's been putting in fairly consistent laps as well. Mawson looking like he's got a bit of breathing space now to Chan. Chan, does he have a moment? I think he's dropped out of that slipstream range now. Will he be able to catch up again? That's a great shot as they come through the bus stop that time. Lovely drone shot. Just see Vex come into shot there as well. Vex is still there currently in 4th place. coming up to 14 minutes in. Obviously a 50-minute sprint, 50-minute endurance race. I always say sprint, don't I? 50-minute endurance race. In these Friday night Super Formula races. This time round, balance of power, no tune, although we've allowed brake balance. So the guy's been able to change the brake balance to try and negate some of the tyre wear. Oh, Asbo have a big moment. That's allowed Palmer through. Palmer up to 5th place. Can he get that car going again? And he is going again. He's going to lose that position of Brian Moncani though, isn't he? And Brian Moncani moves through to 6th place. And Graham's got through as well. So Graham up to 7th. And there is Asbo rejoining in 8th. Ginger's there in 9th. Some way off the back of the pack now. And then Smurf all the way down in 10th place. I think Smurf must have definitely had a moment somewhere. He's definitely looking like he's off pace this evening. He's definitely improved a lot this season. I think we're still going to see good things coming from him. He's going to be up there, isn't he? But just got to keep that consistency, hasn't he? So Wayne G now looking like Molson has actually closed that gap. Has Wayne G had a bit of a moment somewhere? And it is. Molson creeps into the shot there, so Molson is starting to catch. The race leader. Oh, Wayne G! Molson really late braking there, almost running into the back of Wayne G. I don't know if Wayne G had a bit of a moment on turn 1, but he was very slow through there. Maybe Molson just growing in confidence at the moment. He's got a lot more confidence in that car, in them tyres. He knows he's onto a good strategy at the moment because he's up there. He's on the back of Wayne G, the race leader at the moment, and Wayne G's on soft, so he will surely take the race lead once Wayne G pits. So Wayne G actually managed to break away slightly from Molson. Molson has got a little bit of work to do now. Ice Chan still there in 3rd place. A lot of 131s on the board, but he's also done some 132s and a 133. Vexed. A lot of 131s as well, but also some other random lap times. So a few moments had by Vexed. Still find himself in 4th place at the moment. Palmer, he's dropped some way off the back of Vexed now. He's there in 5th place. Brian Moncani up to 6th now. Graham's up to 7th. So Asbo, he's now dropped to 8th. Well, we saw that, didn't we? We saw he rejoined in 8th. He had that moment, didn't he, on turn 3? I think it was, or it might have been turn 2. Exit turn 2. I think actually, no, it would be turn 3, wouldn't it? This one here. Almost going into the back of Graham there. That was very close between them two. Asbo cracking driving from him tonight. He's been well on it, hasn't he? And managing to get that move done. So he's used the advantage of them soft tyres, managed to get on the back of Graham, get the move done, and he's going to look to try and break away now. Get onto the back of Brian. Make up some more points. Graham, he's on a long strategy though, isn't he? So he should retake that position once Asbo pits. I do feel we'll start to see people start to peel into the pits. Ginger's still there in 9th place, having a few moments as well. Lap time's a little bit inconsistent as well. And Smurf. Yeah, it's definitely the consistency there, isn't it, with Smurf? As you look at the lap times, he's got 2 135s, 2 136s, and then 138s, 137s, 142 is his slowest lap time, sorry. So yeah, I think maybe Smurf just struggling with consistency a little bit tonight around Road Atlanta. Wayne G still in that race lead, but he has got Mawson all over the back of him now. Mawson really started to pressure him. In fact, the top three all very close to each other now. Wayne G had a nice gap, didn't he? So Wayne G, he must have had a moment somewhere. In fact, you can see, if you look at his lap times there, lap 10 was a 1:34.7, nearly a 1:35, so that must have been the lap where he had the moment. Otherwise, almost always in the 1:31s, 1:32s. Oh, Mawson, is that going to give him a penalty? Looked like he got a little bit greedy on the apex there coming out of the bus stop, but he's got away with it. I think that was definitely close. That was definitely running the track limits to the utmost. Ice Chan still there in third place, still trying to get onto the back of Mawson. Still got some of that overtake left. Wayne G covering off the inside again. Mawson trying to get a long way round. Huge battle for him for first place at the moment. Ice Chand, he's probably rubbing his hands at the moment as well. He wants a bit of the action. Oh, it's Mawson. He's gone for a move into turn 3, didn't quite pay off. I think there was definitely a little bit of contact there, wasn't there? But not unsettling either of the cars, so... And in fact, it did look like Mawson actually backed off a little bit. So we've got the top three really close to each other. And then Vexed as well. Vexed has crept up there. He's in fourth place currently, but starting to creep up onto the back of Chan now. And there is Ice Chand in the Red Bull. Vexed in the Alpha Tauri, looking to try and get onto the back of Chand now. He's actually got the current fastest lap of 1:30.8. He did that lap 13. We may see that change again. In fact, we will surely see the fastest lap change again as some of the other guys put the softs on. So looking back at the race leader, Mawson still trying to pressure Wayne G. He's not as close as he was, is he? But definitely creeping back up there. Oh, Ice Chan starting to look a little bit squirrely in the background. So he doesn't have a disconnect. He was jumping about a little bit there. It seems to have settled down again. Oh. Beck still trying to get onto the back of him. Try and take that third place away. Palmer. Oh no, Palmer's just picked up a penalty, and Brian looking like he's got the run on him now. Will he be able to get past? Palmer's got the inside for this turn. Brian going the long way round. He has managed to get it done. Manages to pull ahead of Palmer. Palmer is going to drop off as well once he serves that penalty. So Brian now up to 5th place. Palmer there in 6th. Graham 7th. Asbo back down to 8th. So he got past Graham, and then maybe having a moment again somewhere. Graham got back past him. Ginger still 9th, and Smurf still 10th. So Winnie G, how long is he going to take them softs for? We're approaching the halfway mark now, 23 minutes in. Oh, we've lost Vex, so Vex was up there, wasn't he, with the top 4, but I think he's had a moment somewhere. So Morton's still there a second, Ice Chan 3rd, and yeah, there he is. So dropping a few seconds off the back of Chan now. I think them softs are probably going to be coming to the end of their life expectancy now. think Wayne G may be coming in this lap. If he's not in this lap, I think he'll be in next time round. But I don't think he's got enough fuel in that car to go 2 more laps. Trying to weave and break the toe there. Oh, who was that? I think Chand having a moment. He has. Chand's off. Vext is through to third place. He's up to third. Chand's going to rejoin fourth. Will he lose that place to Palmer as well? I don't think he will. I think, yeah, Palmer's too far behind at this point. There is Palmer. Palmer fifth. Chand rejoining in fourth place. It's unlucky Chand. I think he just had a moment coming through the bus stop. Vext actually peeling into the pits now. He's going to stick on a fresh set of rubber and fill that car up. In fact, quite a few people into the pits now. So Molson and Wayne G still out in first and second. Brian Mulcahy's moved up to third place. Graham up to fourth. So Vext has come back out in fifth place. Ice Chand is there in sixth. Palmer is going to re-emerge in seventh. Then Ginger's there in eighth place. Ginger won't be able to do another lap on that fuel. He's got the mediums. He could still run their mediums for a bit longer if he wanted to, and then take the softs on later on. But I don't think he'll want to do another 2 stops, so I assume he'll change his tyres once he goes in for fuel. Asbo now back on a fresh set of mediums. Oh, and Molson actually following in Wayne G. So Molson getting rid of their mediums already. He's actually following Wayne G into the pits, saving a little bit more fuel. Will Smurf be able to make up any positions at this point? I'm not too sure. He's got his work cut out. So Wayne G slapped on a new set of medium tyres. Molson will be on the softs. So Brian Mulcahy, now your new race leader. He's up to first place, but he's going to be having a pit this lap, isn't he? Or at the end of this lap. Graham is up to second. So absolutely cracking drive at the moment from Graham as well. Chasing down Brian Mulcahy. Currently up to second place. Wayne G has come out in third place. He's got Molson not too far behind him in fourth. Molson, as I say, he's on a fresh set of softs, so I think we're going to have to stay on board with Molson for a lap or two. Just see if he manages to chip into that gap and maybe get the move done. But looking like he's dropped off slightly, so maybe just waiting for them tyres to come into their temperature window. Not wanting to lean on them too early. So yeah, I think we're going to see Brian now come into the pits. And he does. Graham will follow him. So Wayne G is going to become race leader once again. And Brian actually on 0 fuel there, so he was cutting it ever so fine. Must have been running on fumes as he rolled into the pits. Wayne G, I think he's made a mistake again. I think he tried to brake too late and I think it cost him slightly. Molson managing to catch right up to him in the braking zone again. And again. Maybe it's just the compound deficit. Molson able to brake later at this stage. Wayne G not quite finding the grip in the mediums to be able to stop as late as he wants to. Going for the centre line there. Oh, long race dip and 2 wheels off the track to take that wide line. Managing to keep Molson at bay at the moment though. It's the battle of the Waynes. Wayne Gwinnell versus Wayne Molson. Molson all over the back of Gwinnell now. Almost pushing him along. He's going to have the inside, isn't he, as they come into the bus stop. And he manages to get the move done. So Molson now moves up into first place and becomes the new race leader. Not really putting a foot wrong tonight. Staying very consistent, and it's paid off as you can see. Winnie G still firmly in the Toto at the moment, so maybe able to come back and retake that race lead, but Molson, he is on the softs, and Winnie G hasn't got a lot of overtake left as well, so Molson may be able to use that overtake to his advantage to be able to pull away from Wayne G. It does look like Molson is starting to pull away ever so slightly now on Wayne G. I think just pulling out of that slipstring. Doesn't want to give Wayne G a toe. Wayne G using up the last of his overtake now to try and get back in there into that suck range. "31 minutes in now, just under 20 minutes to go." Molson looking good for it at the moment though. And Vexed is now up to third place. One foot on the podium at the moment for Vexed. Let's hope he doesn't manage to throw it away. So after that terrible start, he got caught slipping on the start, didn't he? Obviously getting caught unawares without having the false start, restart with the lights. Ice Chan there in fourth place. A little bit of a gap now between him and Vexed. Obviously he had that moment, didn't he, and coming out the bus stop, and I think that cost him. He's doing well at the moment though. He's actually on fresh mediums. I think he went in the same time as Vexed, so he may be able to chip into that gap still. Brian Mancani up to fifth place now. He's actually on fresh softs as well, so running the mediums in his first stint. I think we're going to see some more pace from Brian in this final stint. Palmer currently 6th. He's almost got all of his overtake left. Graham's 7th. Asbo's there in 8th. Quite a big gap now to the rest of the field. Ginger 9th. He's coming up to get a lap soon, isn't he? And Smurf, he's there in 10th. He's going to peel into the pits now. No, he's not. I thought he was. He's actually on a fresh set of socks. He's looking real... Oh, okay, so I think he's slowed down because of the blue flag. I think he's aware that Graham is coming up behind him and not wanting to impede him too much, so compromising himself slightly through that turn. Yeah, there you go. Great sportsmanship there from Smurf. He knows that he's seen Graham coming and got right out of the way for him. He's going to keep his head down, try and stay in that slipstream, try and maybe chip into that time to Ginge. If Ginge has a moment, he should surely be able to take that position, but got a little bit of work to do there, wasn't he, currently. So Mawson still out in first place. Already creating a bit of a gap. He started to use that overtake as well. Maximise that top speed as he comes across the start-finish line. I think 186 was the top speed we were getting around here. So Wayne G dropping off the back of Mawson somewhat now. In fact, looking like he's actually sort of struggling a little bit for grip with the mediums, which we didn't really see too much with Mawson. Mawson looked ever so strong on the mediums. Big slide there from Wayne G as he came around that turn onto the banking. He's not going to want to do that too much. That will eat into them rear tyres. It's like a lot of people opting to run traction around here, around Daytona. I think there's a few corners with the cambered corners that can catch you out when you try and get on the power. I think that's why a lot of the lads deciding to run traction this evening. Ice Chan still there in fourth place. Not too far behind Vex now, but still a fair few car lengths. It's going to be a couple of laps yet before he can possibly go for a move. He is going to have to start going defensive soon though as well, isn't he? Because Brian Mancani is on a charge now. Looks like Brian Mancani only 5 or 6 car lengths back now. Trying to get up into that slipstream range. Actually setting the fastest lap there as well with a 129.1. And it does look like he is on a charge, doesn't it? Brian obviously top of the standings at the moment in the championship. Currently in first. Mawson is trying to chase him down now though, isn't he? If he gets this win, he's going to be starting to close that gap a little bit to Brian. And then Vex is currently in third with Wayne G. I think it is hot on his heels. We'll get a rundown through the standings in the next round, which will be round 7, and then obviously round 8, which is the final round for this season, which is very sad indeed. And also I'll take the time in this video quickly to thank everyone that's come along and watched all the videos. We've had some great views on the Super Formula series, so people obviously really enjoy watching them. I think it has made for some cracking racing, and we've had some guys with definitely varying skill levels. And I think we will begin work on season 3 with possible success ballast being introduced, just to try and spice things up a little bit. And maybe give some of the guys at the back of the field a bit more of a chance to try and score some top points. So Mawson's still out in first place. He's not really going to start feeling the wear on them softs just yet. Maybe becoming a little bit sketchy in the final few minutes, but he's definitely got enough meat on him at the moment. Wayne G not too far behind him now. Looking like he's managing to close that gap again slightly. I think the mediums should have come into their window now, to be fair. Vext is there in third place currently, and looking like he's used a little bit more fuel in the front two, so hopefully he will have enough to take him to the end of the race. Currently sat in third place though. It does look like Brian McCartney's starting to creep into the shot now though as well, so he may have to start going defensive. He's currently got 1 foot on the podium, but there he is, Brian. Lap 23, which was 2 laps ago, he did a 1:29.1, which is the fastest lap of the race so far. So Brian definitely on a charge at the moment. His last 2 laps were a 1:30.3, and in comparison, Vex's last 2 laps were a 1:32.1 and a 1:32.6. So yeah, 2 seconds slower a lap at this point on the mediums is Vex. So Brian will surely come into striking distance within the next couple of laps. So the next 3 or 4, and he'll definitely be on Vexed. Ice Chand not too far behind Brian now. It's looking like he's managed to close that gap somewhat as well, but also on the medium, so I have to see what he can do. As I say, Molson very, very strong on the mediums this evening, so maybe some of the other guys, they can find some confidence on too. Graham currently in 6th place. Graham's had some decent runs this season, hasn't he? I think he's made up some decent points. I think he's... I can't remember where he is in the standings. I'd have to have a look at the standings. I think he's sat around 5th or 6th currently. So yeah, having a decent run this season. Palmer is there in 7th place. Still ahead of Asbo. Asbo's there in 8th. And then Ginge down there in 9th, and Smurf in 10th. So Mawson's still the race leader, and he has got a handsome gap now, hasn't he, to Winnie G. So surely not having to worry about defending. He can just try and keep his head down, try and keep it consistent, try and minimise tyre wear. Probably monitor how much fuel he's used as well. Wayne G still there in 2nd place. He's putting consistent 1:31s, but I don't think it's enough at this point to catch up to Mawson. Mawson doing pretty much the same times, the same lap times, so I think that gap's going to stay pretty consistent. We're in the last 7 minutes now. And it has become a little bit of a procession. We have seen some decent moves made though, haven't we? And Vext is there in 3rd place, but as I say, Brian, he was going to be in striking distance within a couple of laps, and he started to close that gap now. He can see Vext in his sights up ahead. Can Vex hold on to it? I think Vex possibly chasing his first podium of this evening, but it's looking like Brian might take it away from him. I think Vex is going to be hoping that maybe Brian has a moment, but he's looking very consistent at the moment. I don't think that is going to happen, to be fair. In fact, the gap had started to close, but it looks like Vex has managed to find some more pace in that car, managed to open it back up again. So, not doing too badly at the moment. We'll have to keep an eye on that battle though, won't we? So Chand is still there in 5th place. He has, however, dropped a little bit off the back of Brian now. Managed to stay well within track limits there. It's a nice run through the bus stop for Chand. Graham is here in 6th. Palmer's there in 7th, gets through the bus stop nicely. Got a bit of work to do to catch up to Graham now though, hasn't he? Ginge finding his way past Asbo now, so what happened to Asbo? Not sure what happened to Asbo, I don't know if... Oh, Ginge actually going real deep there. Oh, so in fact Ginge trying to unlap himself. Or is he? Or are they both getting blue flagged? I'm not too sure what's going on here. I think there's another car that we can't see in the mix somewhere. And it is, it's Vexed. So Vex now just ahead of Ginge, Brian Moncani just behind. I think that was, I don't know, definitely shenanigans aplenty. As Brian closes right up to Vex coming through the bus stop, Vex having to take a bit of a deep line, and he's ended up with a penalty, so Brian will surely get through now. And he does. So Brian up to 3rd place, can Vex come back? He's looking for a way past, isn't he? Ginge still there as well. Ginge's going to have to be careful, he doesn't want to be impeding these guys ahead of him. And he has actually backed off now, it looks like. I think he's just trying to use the slip of the guys up ahead to try and close the gap to Palmer. Not sure if Brian was trying to get some heat in his tyres then, or just try and break the toe. So nearly 2 minutes left of this race, so probably about another 2.5 laps. Moulton's still race leader. We got Winnie G there in 2nd place. Brian Moncani is up to 3rd. Vext is there in 4th. Ice Chan 5th. Graham is 6th. We got Palmer there in 7th. Palmer starting to use some of that overtake now. Very, very late in the race. Asbo 8th. Oh, Asbo, where's he going? Asbo with a very weird line through that last sector. I think maybe just a little lapse of concentration, perhaps. It looked like he was looking for the pits for a minute, but... Oh, has he got enough fuel? Maybe slightly under fuel in that car. Ginge 9th, Smurf 10th. So we'll go on board with the race leader. As we are coming up to the last minute of this race. Maybe even the final lap. In fact, I think the top 3 may be able to get through and do one more lap. Still 30 seconds left, so yeah, this one that Molson starts now will surely be his final lap. So he's managed to get through and do one. Wenny G is on a final lap. Brian, is he going to get through? I think Bex thought maybe that was going to be his final lap. So Ice Chan finishing in 5th place. We got Graham. Graham's coming in 6th. Palmer is 7th. Asbo's 8th. Ginger is 9th. Smurf will finish in 10th place. And here he is. He's had a fantastic strategy tonight as Molson. He decided to go long and it's paid dividends. I think this will be his first win of the season. Not really putting a foot wrong this race. So there you go, Molson takes the checkered flag in spectacular fashion. That's his first race of the season, or first win of the season, should I say. He's taken first place. Wenny G is 2nd place. Brian managing to snag 3rd place away from Vexed with a couple laps remaining of the race. I think Vex to be a little bit gutted, but there we go. Brian Moncani is 3rd place. Vex finishes in 4th. Well, that was round 6, guys. I'll be back with round 7. I hope you enjoyed that one. I've been your boy Vex. This has been the Ultimate Racing League Super Formula Friday night series. Good night.